Hi, it's Rebecca, Empathic Crow, Cancer. This is a message for you for the energy of May 2026. However, apparently Odin wanted to make an appearance in our message here. If you do find this outside of May 2026, it does not mean it's not a message for you or that it may not hold some things that may be helpful. But always recognize that this is a general collective reading, and so not everything is going to fit. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. As we say, trust your intuition, use your discernment. Private reads are available if you would like to explore things for yourself personally, but if the message comes through and it feels like it's helpful, even with my personal reads, the intention is always that you are the one who gets to decide your fate, because that's not for me to do. Anything that I or the cards or even spirit says is just information to help you on your path. Not sure why that introduction was so long, but maybe it does fit in, because when I channeled your energy before starting, Cancer, I saw angel wings and a bright light. So feeling like an invitation to connect with whatever divine is for you. I saw a sunset and I heard relax and release. So that's where we'll start. So Cancer, let's go ahead and get started with the cards and see what is going on for you. I'm feeling called to the Modern Witch Tarot. I will try to be mindful because with this deck there are some cards that do contain some nudity, and I want to make sure that I do not get flagged on YouTube. Luckily I have a lot of crystals over here that I can put on top of it. But let's get started. I do feel like we need to take a grounding breath. I don't always do that, but right now for you, Cancer, I feel like that's important. So if you want to take one with me, you can. I keep seeing a fish eye. Fish eye. Let me write that down, actually. Fish eye. And now I'm seeing things as if it's 222 on the clock in that distorted, like, you know when you look through a lens that's really curved, just like if you were looking at a fishbowl, sometimes depending on the angle, the fish looks incredibly large when it's really not. It's just the angle of the glass. I can't remember, is it concave versus convex? I can't remember. But because of the angle or curve of the glass, it creates a distortion. I'm hearing seeing the world. And then I saw, like, if you're like me, I'm nearsighted, and you've ever been to the eye doctor, they have the little lens thing and they'll flip it. And they'll be like, is this better or is this better? One or two. And so that's what I saw, is that you're looking through and the distortion's there, and then it's like a quick flip. So there's something, Cancer, that I feel like you're being called to try to flip I hear flip the switch, flip the way that you are viewing it. Four of Cups. So that makes perfect sense, because with the Four of Cups, these cups have been opportunities that you've had. Maybe you even took those opportunities, and then here's another opportunity coming in, and it's coming in from what seems to be a divine source. But at the same time, this person, their shirt, I think, says over it. And they aren't even looking at that opportunity. There's the yellow wall behind them. I keep hearing follow the yellow brick road. And when Dorothy followed the yellow brick road in The Wizard of Oz, the wizard wasn't everything that he had been cracked up to be, right? The wizard wasn't even the wizard. So I'm hearing again, trust your intuition and use your discernment. That this is you being able to recognize that when these opportunities come in, you don't have to immediately see it through the lens of, this is something that is whatever way it is. This is like good opportunity or this is bad opportunity. That you take a moment to pause, but you're pausing to consider it. You're not just saying no, you're not just saying yes. That feels really important. That flip the switch. I've never really focused on the fact that she's got her phone beside of her, so that caught my attention. And the phone is blue, which is throat chakra communication. And her lips are gray. So I feel like this communication, the gray lips, right? That's her lipstick. Her lipstick's gray, and the blue phone. And I'm seeing again that wall, like it's like you stopped communication with someone because I'm talking to a brick wall, like, because it was just like you were talking and you didn't feel like people were listening. So now the phone's tossed down to the side. Fine, I'm just not going to talk at all. And that's what I was saying. It doesn't have to be a yes or a no. So this opportunity could be an opportunity for communication with someone. 555 on the clock, and you're just not sure whether you should take it or not. This yellow is making me think of solar plexus. A lot of anxiety around, should you take it? Relax and release in a sunset. Relax and release in a sunset. All right, Cancer, let's explore this a bit more. Spirit, tell me a little bit more about this feeling like words I'm hearing are falling on deaf ears. I'll go with that. Nine of Wands. Because you feel like in the past, you've tried to say what you wanted to say, and it just felt like it created all these problems. Like you were having to defend yourself left, right, center, wherever. And so it left you feeling battered and bruised. And of course, you know, if we feel like we've always had to have a battle when we're trying to do something, we're not going to want to continue to do it. And the interesting thing here is I'm seeing that little cloud looks like a heart. And so I was going to say, it feels like something here could be good, or you want for it to be good. Cancer, I feel like you're a little closed off right now. Like when I'm tapping into the energy, it's like I get a little bit, and usually with you, I'm like, we're getting stuff, you know, even things that feel like they're very subconscious level. But today it feels like the energy is a little bit closed off. So what does Spirit need for you to know? What does Spirit want for you to know? Two of Wands. But there are options. Again, maybe these options aren't the ones. And notice we had the Nine of Wands. So it's like they're saying, you know, all right, cups and emotions, you're over it. You don't want the cups with the emotions. Emotions, your cup runneth over with emotions, I'm hearing. But with the wands and that growth and fire, creative energy, it's like the things in the past, that communication, the things you were excited about, it may not have worked out, but you've got a whole world in front of you. And this lady, notice that whereas she's just kind of tossed her phone to the side or laid it down beside of her, this lady's got her phone in her hand. And the yellow in her pants and in her headdress, also with that red in the headdress, sacral chakra and root chakra. She's bringing that passion back in, but she's also grounded. And she's looking around and saying, okay, so what are my options? Instead of closing herself off to it. So I feel like I asked, you know, what Spirit wants for you to know. And Spirit's saying that it's okay for you to explore options. And it doesn't have to, you want to feel passionate about it, that it's something you enjoy, that it's something that is part of your purpose or your desires. It doesn't have to be that you're all in your emotions or around people or with people or situations that make you feel that your communication, your emotions, whatever the situation is, that you aren't respected in that. But there are offers coming in, and I feel like that's that fisheye lens flip thing, is you're being called to open up to it. We got the Knight of Cups. So what do you feel like is in that cup? Are you looking in that cup and feeling like, that's tempting, this might be something good? Or are you looking in that cup and you feel like there's nothing there? It's about making sure that we're not, I'm hearing daydream, that we're not just creating this daydream in our head that's not possible and then focused on it, and it's the only thing, that we're creating options for ourselves. Like we're observing, we're seeing the options and not just the one thing. It doesn't just have to be this way or nothing else will work. All right. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And again, there's a lot of blue in this card. So I feel communication, in fact, in all three of the cards, communication is a really big piece of this. Where are we going? Let's go to the Light Seers Tarot and just see what is the guidance for Cancer with being able to turn their perspective around. What's the guidance? So we have several cards coming out. All right. So we've got the Five of Wands. Sometimes we may feel like when we're looking at this card that they're all doing different things, right? And it may look like they're not working together. They're not working together and they're on this, the wands are kind of like a scaffolding, and then this person is up here and they're trying to get the light. So it could feel like, are we creating a plan? Are we working against each other? 11 o'clock. Is this person trying to still the light while everybody else is doing their own thing? There's so many things that could be going into our mind. And so I feel like that's where it's being able to say, okay, we got all this past stuff that's kind of in our head, making us overthink, but we got to calm it down, bring it back, and focus on what is it that we really want. If we focus on what we really want, it makes it a little easier to narrow down those thoughts and those decisions. Then we've got the Hierophant. Remember I said at the beginning, I saw angel wings and it felt like a connection to the divine, whatever that is for you. Could even be higher self. Could be all of the things. It doesn't have to be just one. But this is where we talk about getting grounded and really connecting. Notice all this pink with your heart, with your light, your soul's purpose, the things that light you up, and asking yourself, Cancer, what is it that I need in order to feel 12 on the clock fulfilled in my life? You're walking away, 8 of Cups, from things that, these cups that didn't work out for you. These wands that made you feel defeated. You walk away from those things because you don't need them anymore. Notice all the water in this card with that 8 of Cups. You know, cups are emotions. Is that a fire in the cup? It looks like it. So it looks like there's a fire in the cup, and it's making me think of when someone may like write a letter to someone and you may not even send it to them, or write down the things that were hurtful and then burn it. I'm not telling you to burn things, especially in your home or whatever, but just saying that, you know, sometimes people may write things down and then burn them to release them. And what was it? Relax and release. The sunset, relax and release. That you find a way that 13 on the clock works for you. Lots of angel numbers for you, Cancer. That works for you and helps you to let it go. No longer serves you. And then we have the Empress. And I love the Empress in the Light Seers Tarot, especially for this message, because I've often said I see this as looking like waves on her back. And this is saying that it's okay to have your emotions, but we get the full moon up here. Sometimes we have to release those emotions, recognize that we do have this world of opportunities that are in front of us. And in order for us to manifest those opportunities, to get the things that we want, we have to pull ourselves back and think about, how do we nurture those ideas? How do we nurture ourselves? How can we allow ourselves to balance those emotions? Because emotions can be healthy. You can't just get rid of your emotions. And Cancer, you wouldn't want to get rid of your emotions. It's when we're in balance that sometimes they can be overwhelming, but sometimes they can be beautiful, because you feel so deeply that you're able to see the beauty and the pain. And when you're in a balanced state, to help people see that, and maybe even for yourself and for others, you alchemize it and you transmute it, and you take that pain and turn it into something beautiful. Turn it into something where you are able to feel like the Empress. I'm just seeing someone standing and there's just light around them. So that was pretty much a full read. We're going to go to the Angels and Auras deck from Radley Valentine and Dougal Fraser and see Cancer, what is a final message for you? Lots of cards wanting to come out. What is a final message for you? Well, Spirit says we've got two. We've got two. Okay, so we'll start here. Haniel, silver, and the number is 4. Goddess, psychic, sacred, and proud. So that is what we can expect when you are in the energy of this archangel and you are feeling good about yourself. Wait. Cancer, I kid you not. If you look, it says angel wings. All right, so angel wings. And in this card, this angel's wings are spread out. Loud and proud, spread out. So yeah, use your intuition. Look at your sacred purpose and be proud about it. When this card is in reverse, when we're in that self-doubt mode, then that creates feelings of things are ordinary, feeling blocked, maybe embarrassed or disheveled. Like that is completely the energy of these two cards. So it's time to turn it around and recognize that you do have opportunities and things that you can do, and ask yourself what you want so that and let go of that feeling that it's always a battle. If you have people in your life that are making you feel like, I don't know what you're doing, I don't know if you're helping or hurting, I don't know if this is a battle, then you gotta take a step back and ask yourself, is this a pattern? Is this something that's helpful to me or not? Which requires for you to go into that Hierophant energy of connecting with, could be counselors, like it could be physical, tangible people, counselors, coaches, whatever it is, or it could be things like your higher self, the divine, the angels, whatever it is for you. And then allow yourself to nurture yourself, because when you do, you will find that your intuition is hitting much harder. You may have the anxiety that still comes through. Remember, I talked about the yellow and the anxiety with that brick wall. But you're going to be more confident in the things that you do sense and feel. And you're going to feel more aligned and more proud of yourself. And that's a beautiful message there, Cancer. So I hope that that was helpful. Remember, we're releasing things that no longer serve us. And I hope that helped. I hope that that gave you something that sparks some kind of idea or light within you that helps you to move forward. If this message was helpful, always feel free to like, share, and comment. Help the messages get to where they need to go. And as I said, I do have personal readings and services that are available at my website. I will not contact you, so my website's the only place that you can book those at. If you, I don't know where I was going with that. One of my current friends flew past the window and I lost the plot for a second. But just thank you for being here, and thank you so much for sharing the messages, liking the messages, watching the messages, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, evening, weekend, whatever it is for you. Take care, Cancer. I'll see you next time. Oh my gosh, Cancer, I'm going to have to add this on. I totally forgot this card right here. So this is 22. That's the number of the card. Everything's okay. And so you see, I talked about you had angel numbers coming in all the time or throughout the reading. And this says, focus on reassurance, support, guidance. And it says overseen. And I feel like what that means is, again, the angel wings, that you're not in this alone, especially where this letter in here says the universe, big news. And recognizing that it's okay to feel this way sometimes, but challenge those moments where you feel like you're in disbelief that you can do the things you want to do or have the things that you want to have. Feeling alone, unanswered, or frustrated because you do have supports. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way. And even the people who are great supports to us are not always going to be understanding. But the biggest piece is, are you able to talk to them? Are you able to feel supported by them? Or do you feel like, as I said in your reading, that there's just a pattern of behavior that lets you know that maybe it's time to walk away from that connection, release things from the past. So relax and release and allow yourself to choose the things that are right for you. All right, Cancer, that truly is it. Thank you so much.